The campaign has been so successful at challenging, documenting, and exposing the different financiers that could be potentially involved, that there's 27 global banks and 28 global insurers that have publicly refused to support EACOP. Many of them also explaining that the project didn't comply with their internal ESG policies, and that the project was too risky, and that would never have been possible if the campaign hadn't been that successful in really documenting, campaigning, exposing, challenging the reputation of financial actors that would be supporting and also pushing for alternatives.
So on the side of Tanzania, and particularly speaking to the fisher folk, the majority who are actually impacted are those one in the Tanga port at Chongoleani, which will be the end point of EACOP from Uganda. So the area, in essence, is occupied by small-scale fishermen who actually use the local technology in doing their activities, that is fishing. So their boats are not powered by engines. So they normally fish just within 4 kilometers, I can say, to 5 kilometers just from the offshore. So when now Total and EACOP, they are right now building, we call it the oil jet, or the oil terminal where the tankers will be taking the oil. In all of that areas, actually, these small fishermen were evicted and they are not allowed to cross over there. So they have been shown another route to cross, actually, which is not friendly to their local boats. And by the way, they just use on those powered often by wind. So they move also just depending on the direction of wind. So that was the major impact.
So we saw what happened with the oil refinery, for example, in Uganda. Tens of thousands of people were evicted from their land to make way for this proposed oil refinery, which still is yet to see the light of day. So far, the Ugandan government has not found a company that's willing to build this oil refinery. And yet we saw that communities lost access to their farmland for years. There were disruptions in education at the community level. Certain children had to drop out of school for years, which has a lot of long-lasting impacts.
This is Beyond Crude, a Stop EACOP campaign podcast series that explores the economic, social, and governance impact in Uganda and Tanzania.